Hello everybody and welcome along to OneHubRacing. We are sponsored by lots of our lovely sponsors, Next Level Racing, ERT, Vespertine, 3M and lots of other sponsors. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. It is time for our tier announcement night. We will find out where our 100 drivers will be going to drive for in season 18. My name is Jess, and my co-host for tonight's proceedings is Danestar. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Hello, everyone in chat. And yeah, 2 days after qualifying night, it's really, really exciting. And of course, so many quick times set by some of these drivers here on Friday.
Yes, Friday just gone, we had qualifying night, which I feel like it was a success, really. Most of the drivers showed up in Bahrain, which was in the day, which was a new experience for some of the drivers who never, ever raced in One Hub before as well. And to be honest, there was a few sandbags, but not as much as we would have thought, which was great to see. There was a lot of people that put a huge amount of effort. Times were broken as well, and there was a huge improvement from some other drivers as well compared to last season's quali night. So it shows that they're taking it seriously.
Yeah, indeed it does. Of course, 98 drivers set a lap time on Friday, and the fastest one of them all was ERT Samba, who set a lap time of a 1 minute 24.813. An absolutely insane lap time from him. And of course, we had 49 drivers lapped in the 26s, 11 of them lapping in the 26 ones. This is probably the closest I've ever seen One Hub Racing.
Yeah, it is. To be fair, when we saw the times on our TAS system, I couldn't believe my eyes, really. And I would like to say, before we start the tier placements, thank you to Thibaut, who has made TAS, who has made a programme specifically for our qualifying night, and they broke down the laps so much with the ERS, the fuel, as well as different types of tyres as well, and lots of other cool stuff related to quali night. It's a lot different compared to last season's quali night on TAS. So thank you very much, Thibaut, if you're listening or you're watching this back, because this stream will be back on YouTube. So you can watch this back with all its glory if you missed out today. So the running order for tonight's tier. So we'll go through every tier in a turn, and then we will be discussing in each tier who are ones to watch out for, because we've both seen the tiers before the stream has come out, so we both have our ideas on who to watch out for in each tier. Both of us are actually racing in One Hub, both of us in different tiers, but still. And we'll also be announcing the commentators as well, so we'll be announcing the commentators as soon as we announce the tiers, basically. So without further ado, let's kick off with the first tier, which is the bottom tier. It's the prospect tier, and that kicks off at 6 p.m. UK time, a lot of earlier start than usual, but I'm sure it's going to provide some great racing nonetheless. The last few champions, the only two champions, were Gus Fring and a Salty Bears. So I wonder who's going to get the champion this season, get the prospect tier champion this season. And I'm going to hand it over to Danestar, who's going to be revealing the first 20 drivers who will be racing at OneHubRacing, but in the prospect tier. Over to you.
Of course, thank you very much. And first of all, we have a new driver entering the league from the United Kingdom. We have Reverend Daniels. Second up, we have a race premium driver, Just Mikey. In third, we have another race premium driver, RAS_Adam. Fourth, we have Primeval Rex. Fifth, we have W415. I can't know how to say this. Wade, okay, sorry about that, Wade. Sixth, we have race premium Alex Lilliart. Oh, Wade, okay.
Sorry, carry on.
We have Alex Lilliart. Yeah. Seventh, we have Jake W. Combs. Eighth, we have race premium Indecisive. Ninth, we have RAS Storms. 10th, we have race premium C-Tice Demon. And 11th, we have our head of commentary, race premium Jess Gamer.
Hello.
And 12th, and in 12th, we have iMajestic TV. 13th, we have Stereogram 23. 14th, we have Race Premium Kingan. 15th, we have Race Premium Liam JHMC12. 16th, we have TJW, who is also Race Premium. And 17th, we have Race Premium Astronauti. In 18th, we have Fuzzy Bear 70. 19th, we have F1 Bazza 86. And 20th, we have Race Premium Pav.
There we go. And before we talk about the drivers in general, I'm going to be announcing our commentators for the prospect tier. And it is Speed Knighton and Red Matt who will be taking you through the action at 6 p.m. on Friday. So we'll give you an image of the rundown now. And I have to say, it looks quite a lot of new drivers, actually, in this tier. And quite a few people that dropped down from, I think there was one that dropped down from podium, I believe, but all the others were either raced here in this tier before or have raced in the bottom tier in previous seasons or are new to the league as well. So any drivers that stand out to you?
Oh, there's many drivers. Of course, I've commentated over this tier last season, so I do recognize some of these drivers. And the name that just pops out to me, well, two names actually, is Liam JHMC and Astronaut 12. Of course, the couple races last season, they did come to blows with each other together, but I think maybe this season they may come to blows once again. But I think these two are going to be really in the battle for the championship. But I can't put out Primeville Rex because he's been in OneHub. He's a returning driver. He's been in OneHub for years. I've even raced against him all the way back in season 12. So I think he's going to be someone to look out for. But yeah, I think early names, very, very early. But Liam and Astronautia, they're going to be my drivers to watch.
Yeah, I agree as well. Liam was close in taking the title out last season as well. His form dipped a bit towards the end. He got very, very unlucky. But I have a feeling he's going to be a lot better, I feel, this season as well. His main competition is either in tiers above him or tiers way above him as well. So the only people he's got to worry about is Astronautia and maybe Alex Lilliard as well. Adam, I have to say, is a big contender as well because he won a race last season when the penalties got jigged around. I remember I think Truth got a penalty for readying up too early, so Adam took the winner in his first one as well. So maybe he could carry his momentum going into this season. We never know as well. And obviously we got Kingan as well, who's been in pretty much the bottom tier for pretty much since I first started driving in the bottom tier. So there's a few names that have been in the prospect tier for a while, but I'm guessing that's where they're being at the moment. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to get to the tier above, as long as you're happy there, then that's all that matters really. So we'll have to wait and see. But obviously it'll be at 6 p.m. UK time, and I'm really excited to see how this tier is going to go, I have to say. And I'm sure Pete and Red Matt, your commentators, I hope the drivers will put them on a good show as well. And we got a lot of commentators, past and present, racing in there as well. So I think that's going to be a good rivalry between us all.
Yeah, indeed. So there's just so many names. Of course, I can't believe I've forgotten about RAS Adam. The rise in form he had in the second half of the season was definitely insane, and that win he got was just immense. I think he was my driver of the season. I can't believe I forgot about that. But yeah, it's just really interesting. But I think we should now move on to the tier above that now, the points tier, the brand new points tier.
Yes, we could not believe this actually when we had 80 sign-ups in like just under 24 hours. So we spoke, all of us management spoke together, and we were like, right, do you think we'll have enough for another tier? And we were like, yes, because there were so many people that were racing last season and haven't signed up yet. So, we decided to put a points tier together. So that'll be racing at 6:45 p.m. on Friday night, so 45 minutes after the prospect tier gets underway as well. So here are the 20 drivers that'll be racing in this one. Now, apologies if I get your names wrong, but there we go. So we got TRT Rakeo, who's a new driver this season, as well as Kill Plane. We got prospect tier driver from last season who's moved up a tier, VXI_MCFC 2020. We got Dexter, who has dropped down from podium tier, who is also an ERT driver, who's actually the ERT owner. There we go. I forgot to mention that, but he is the owner of ERT, one of the ones who made this ERT partnership possible. We've got LR_Delta, who is a race premium driver and who is new as well. We got MFC Trunders as well, who was in, I believe, was podium last season. I can't remember. But anyway, I think he was in podium or he was a new driver. I don't know. We got Quinniff, who was in podium, who's race premium. We've got ERT Thomas, who is an ERT driver and is a Belgium and was in podium last season. Runner-up from Prospect last season, we got Truth NRP. We got a returning driver of Flays 422, who is a race premium driver. We got a new driver of F1_Matthias 72. We got two more podium drivers from last season. Lawrence D 1989, who is a race premium driver, and ERT_Jordan, who is an ERT driver. We got Iberbrim Mike, who is a returning driver. We've got Epic Scorpion, who's a new driver. Seppa_99, who is podium last season. Craig Senna was from Prospect. He was Ferrari Constructors Champions along with Truth NRP. We got Hookie_66, who's a new driver. Aaron JS 1992 is a returning driver. Great to have him back. And the one who has not been in the bottom tier for the first time in goodness knows how long, we got Gazzaman. So there is your points tier for this season. And your points commentators is Carol, Catname Minty, and Jamie. So there we go. So there is your points lineup. Any names that stand out for you, Dane?
Honestly, I'm going to be really honest here. I don't really recognize many of these names, but I do recognize the name Gazzaman. Of course, me and him go way back to season 12 when we won the constructors together. And I think the last time I seen Gazzaman in a tier that wasn't the bottom tier was all the way back on F1 2016. I could be wrong there, but I think that might be right. Of course, he could correct me later on if I am wrong. But yeah, it's good to see him. You know, he's finally found some good pace to be able to move out of that bottom tier. And I think he could be up there as well. But we also have Truth NRP. He has moved up as well. But in the bottom tier, he was rapid. Of course, sometimes it would literally just be him and the Salty Bear battling for the win. Of course, the Salty Bear did take it, but he was the runner-up, so it was destiny for him to really move up a tier. And I think he could cause a bit of a storm in this tier.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's great to see quite a few people moved up. The points tier, I think, I even though I said moved down, it's kind of like Prospect / Podium 1.5. It's people that were Prospect last season and from Podium this season, last season as well as a few new drivers. That is basically what the points tier is. And we got Aaron JS as well, who, for those of you that don't know, he's a legend in OneHub. He was fighting for wins and podiums in Prospect and Podium and goodness knows how long as well. He could be a good contender too, but I still don't know as well. We'll go through that in a special stream later on in a few weeks' time as well. But, you know, any one of these drivers I think could do well as well. And it's going to be strange not racing Gazza. I'm used to racing Gazza every season that I'm in, and I'm no longer racing with him, which feels quite weird. I now have to listen to someone else saying ready up now, but not Gazza, but yeah. And it's not me, by the way. I didn't want to be host, so I turned it down. But yeah, that's at 6:45 with Carol and Jamie as your commentators. And I can see Minty in the chat, and I think he's delighted about that. And yeah, we'll move on to our next tier, which is the podium tier, which is at 7:15 p.m. UK time, which is about half an hour after the points tier starts. So we are going to be passing you over to Dane to reveal the podium tier. I almost got that wrong. Over to you.
Alright, so first of all, we have a new driver to the league, ESW Colin R. Mason, and he was Welsh. We also have Race Premium Lambi PR Per 9, and he was also new to the league. Third up, we have Ali B, who is Race Premium. He's returning. He was in the podium last season. Race Premium Tech 31 Racing in fourth, and fifth we have JM69, who is also Race Premium. We have Cloudy Balloons, he's been in OneHub for a very long time, one of OneHub's longest serving drivers. He's Race Premium. Sixth, we have Apex Rogue, moving up 2 tiers from the Prospector. He's had a lot of pace. He is seventh. And eighth, we have Jonas Albrecht. He's also another OneHub legend, been here for a very long time. He's moved up from Precision as well. Bannister's in ninth. And 10th, we have SD Max. 11th, we have Gogs. 12th, we have Waitsy. 13th, we have King Kong Hoffner. 14th, we have Speed_Risky. 15th, we have Aero Specialist. 16th, we have Rich 500. 17th, we have Cam K-Mom. 18th, we have Okeke 21. 19th, we have Casper 012. And 20th, we have F1_Farf.
There we go. So there are your lineup for the podium tier, and I will reveal your podium commentators is Noah Clark, also known as Ik1, and Liam, also known as Evil Dragon. So they will be your podium tier commentators for this season, and I will get the lineup for you once again. A lot of race premium drivers in this lineup, I have to say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 race premium drivers. No ERT drivers, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to point out a few that will stand out to me. I think this is probably the most open tier, I think. I would say Cam as one of the drivers that struck me as well. Johannes as well, who JM69, he was commentating last season as far as... that is a bit intriguing. He was commentating podium last season and he's in podium racing this season. So there we go. It's good to have him racing, really, to be honest. Same with Jake in Prospered, actually, which is great to see as well. I'm trying to pick out some other names as well. Colin R. Mason as well. I know he's very quick on the game. He's done other leagues as well as OneHubRacing. He could be one to watch as well. Cloudy Balloons. There's just so many names. Don't forget SD Mats as well. He's quite quick. We're into the unknowns, I think, as well, because we have a middle tier for the first time in goodness knows how long. So the first time, I think the first time since season, what was it? When was the last time we had 3 tiers? Was it season 15?
I believe it was season 15, season 14. Yeah, I think it was around that era of time.
Yeah, any drivers that I didn't mention that has caught your eye that could be one to watch?
Well, I'm having a look on the qualifying night results, and we do have Jonas Ulbricht, who did place 33rd. He's one of the highest runners in this tier, I believe, who did set a time. So I think although he was in the precision last season, I think he may have got his act together and has found a bit of a hidden pace that he didn't have earlier on, and I think he could be a real dark horse here, just as long as he can keep his nose clean.
Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, I can't call who's going to get it. We've got the Kong Hoffner as well, who's looking quite good. Apex Rogue. Apex Rogue made the jump from the prospect to the podium, which is one of the biggest jumps in the tiers. I'll talk about the other big jump as well, because some of you may notice, why is the prospect champion from last season not being mentioned yet? Don't worry, I'll get to him later on, because I haven't announced him yet. But there we go. So that'll be at 7:15 UK, and I'm very excited for this one. Now, people may be thinking, Precision next? No, we're going to leave that till last to keep that. We are going to be doing Pinnacle next, because if we reveal Precision next, people will assume, I'm in Pinnacle. So we're going to do Pinnacle next, and I'm going to announce the first 10 drivers, and Dane is going to announce the last 10 of the drivers. So here we go. So let me just get it up. There we go. So the top tier drivers this season are as follows. First of all, it's our fastest driver from qualifying night. It's not really a surprise he's in the Pinnacle tier this season. He was in Pinnacle last season as well. ERT Samba, he's an ERT driver. We got one of the runners-up from Pinnacle last season. He's a race premium driver. We got Netsky. Returning to the league is an English driver. We got Glock 4495. We've got one of the OneHub legends who almost missed out on Prestige champion, I think in season 13 at one point. We got Rafa. I'm trying to we're on the 5th, that's fine. So the 5th driver is Toxic_MML as well, who was also close to getting the title last season in Pinnacle. We got a race premium driver of Lakitu as well, who was the Pinnacle tier runner-up. We got Yoram Matthias, who's also race premium. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we got TRT Tomar, who was in Precision last season. And we've got 2 more Pinnacle drivers who are also race premium from Britain. We got J. Luke and Larkin. Danestar, who are our final 10 Pinnacle drivers?
Of course, first of all, we have 2 ERT drivers who are automatically race premium. We have from Bahrain, Khalifa, and we have Josh. Next up, we have race premium Cliffy. And then after that, we have race premium Konzo. After that, we have BRT_Luke Lira. And we have Fatality, Vapor_Chris, Arnard, VER Jules, and ART Kyle as our final driver for the Pinnacle tier.
There we go. So if you haven't heard your name, you're more than likely going to be in a position tier. But there is your best drivers who we thought were the best overall in terms of pace. Qualifying night as well. And your commentators for this season for the Pinnacle tier is Daka 23, also known as Daniel, and we got Indecisive, who was in Pinnacle comms last season. So, well, I have to say the Pinnacle lineup is, I've got to say, super stats. I have to say for the drivers. Again, it's hard to call who I think will do well. Obviously, Samba, who was fast in qualifying night. I want to see how his race pace is as first, but I I'm keeping an eye on Netski and Lakitu here as well. Lakitu wasn't a runner-up. Sorry, Lakitu was a champion last season. My bad, he wasn't runner-up. I was thinking about another league. But there we go. So Lakitu was a champion from Pinnacle last season. Netski was a runner-up. And also Rafa as well in there. Any other drivers that caught your eye?
Well, I believe it was Khalifa who took the race win in the final race of the season, so he could be a bit of a dark horse. But honestly, I'm just thinking of the drivers you've mentioned. Of course, we had Samba. He was the fastest overall, but we also have returning to the league, Rafa, and he's just insane on the game. He's literally an alien. And after that, we have Toxic MML, who he's really quick as well. This tier is like, it's so open for who could win. I'm thinking of at least 6 drivers who could fight for it, really.
I remember the Pinnacle tier last season. It went down to the final race as well. It was just probably the closest Pinnacle tiers that we've ever seen. So, I'm looking forward to watching it. And we've got 2 very experienced commentators who I'm sure will do a fantastic job as well. And, I'm sure they're good at their craft anyway, so I'm sure they'll do well. But yeah, Cliffy as well, who has won Constructors Champions. I have a feeling he's going to find someone who will probably carry him to a Constructors title, just like season 16. we will see. But we got Josh as well, who was position tier champion last season, was dominating that towards the end, and he's going to find it tough with the Pinnacle tier this season. But do you think he can handle it?
It depends. If you put in the practice, then it will always pay off. I think if he just practices and gets maybe a small hint of luck, he can definitely go for it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be intense, I have to say, with these drivers. But for some of them, they probably weren't expecting to get the jump up. I think there was only 2 drivers that got moved up, I think, from position. I think it was Tom R as well, who was the position tier runner-up. Not surprised that he's there. He had a mistake in Mexico, which I think cost his chance of challenging Josh for the title. So it's going to be a tall order for him as well, but I know we can do it as well. So now, if your name hasn't been read out, then you're more than likely going to think, hang on, I probably could be in a position tier. Well, we're about to find out. There were a few no-shows on Friday, so that they haven't been placed, but we'll have to wait and see. So anyway, we'll get the final names out as well. So here we go then. Your final 20 drivers who is in the second top tier at 7:45. The Pinnacle tier was at 8:30, by the way, I forgot to say. So we've got VAR_Martin, who is a new driver who is also Dutch. We've got an ERT driver who is racing on the wheel for his first full season in the league. We've got Corey44, who was in Pinnacle last season. 3 position tier drivers from last season, all race premium drivers: Scorpion Hun, Riley Byes, and Verhainen. We got Pinnacle tier driver from last season, M. Pricey. We got position tier driver YT_Paints Dead. We got I'm not sure if he's new. I don't even know. But anyway, we got a returning driver, one of the legends at OneHub, who was a champion, I believe, many seasons ago. ZRE Flows Z. I can't even pronounce his name. I do apologise. Next person is an ERT driver. He's a league owner of OneHub. He's the myth, the legend. He is Nick, of course. We've got Prospect tier champion from last season, who's a race premium driver, a Salty Bear. We got podium tier champion from last season, White Fountain. We got podium tier runner-up, Vitinho. We got returning driver, Don DeBoa. We got position tier driver from last season, Rimpe. We got my co-host, who's returning to race this season and was Prospect Comp last season, Dane Star. We got, who's race premium. We got Kieran Keys F1, who was precision tier last season. Returning to the league, we got IRL Neon, which was Nexus clone, for those of you that don't remember, he's race premium. We got 2 race premium drivers, Luke Key, who was from Pinnacle, and we got Chris, who was from Position, and your final driver, who was from Pinnacle last season, the only Toma 97, and your Position tier commentators for this season is Tom Mole and Liam JHMC 12. So there are your final lineup for season 18, and if your name was not mentioned, you will be on the waiting list. But there we go. I gotta say, that is a stacked grid, and I think the closest grid we've got out of all 5 tiers, I think.
You guys just forcing me to turn my line back on because I'm seeing the competition back here, and it's just so many drivers, so many legends, so many champions, and I'm going to be going up against these guys. It's going to be very interesting indeed.
Yeah, exactly. And I have to say, I remember Blizzard, I've got to say, who was on the power before, and then he didn't get used to the wheel right away. I was talking, I'm referencing to Corey, who's going to be on the wheel for the first time. If he gets used to the wheel quickly, I think he could be the one to watch out for. His qualifying lap was not that bad, to be fair, as well, but his race pace may be a bit iffy, but take it a few races, and I think you'll be up there, I think, Corey. I've seen him in other leagues with the pad. He's very fast. He's still racing in the pad on Jacko car, by the way, this season. Do not worry. He's just on the wheel for OneHub as well. It's going to be a challenge for him as well. Obviously, you as well with your many champions. We've got 7 champions in OneHub history in the same tier, spreading across multiple tiers in seasons gone by. And, and this is insane. And we also got a Salty Bear as well, who's made the jump right from prospect all the way up to position. Probably going to be the biggest progression, I've got to say. One of the biggest improvements from last season's qualifying night to this one. He was pretty quick in qualifying night. He surprised me in a good way, and I wonder how he's going to handle the pressure from being in a tier 2 tiers higher than he was expecting.
Yeah, so I believe he came he was in the top 10, I believe it was, for qualifying night, so he's definitely improved. Of course, I commentated on him dominating the prospect here, so not really surprised to see him all the way up here, and maybe he can fight for the front at the grid. Of course, it's a steep climb to be able to race that challenge at the front of the grid when you move up so many tiers, but it's definitely going to be a challenge for him.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously we got Neon as well, who's making his return. I want to see how he does. White Fountain, who's won the podium tier champion last season. It went down to the final wire between White Fountain and Patina, and I have to say, those two I think are going to be battling all season, I would say, between these two too. And, I think podium went down to the wire last season. I have a feeling position's going to go down to the wire this season. It's always close position, but I have a feeling this one's going to be close as well. I have a feeling the team contract is probably going to be the busiest in position, I have to say. But, I can't call it out of all the tiers, I can't call it who's going to win in position. I just can't call it because most of these drivers, on a good day, could win a race and they could get points. Don't forget the top 12 can score points more than the top 10s, more than any season. Well, last season we scored, it was the top 12 for the first season, which allowed a lot of drivers who don't usually score points to score points as well. But I think people will get up to speed very quickly, and I think it's gonna be a while. I know when I've got the thing we're gonna be talking about in a minute, the fantasy. I'm gonna find it so hard to pick one driver from this tier in my fantasy team. I just don't know who to pick.
Pick me. What's it called? I don't want to big myself up here, but I'm always the one that bottles qualifying and always gains position in the race. I think I might be a shout here, but there's also so many other drivers here.
So those of you that want any tips on what drivers you want,
wink, wink.
Yeah, so those are your 100 drivers that are racing at OneHubRacing, and in the next few days you'll find out who your tier coordinators will be as well. They will make themselves known in the chat either tonight or in the next few days. So I think most of them pretty much know who they are. So you will, and your roles will be given to you tonight as well. So you can introduce yourself to the drivers as well. It'll be very, very exciting. Now, one thing I've got to say, I still need to get this image up, so I will do that in a second. But we got a new thing coming to OneHubRacing, which is the F1 OneHubRacing Fantasy League that we've got going on. It's nothing to do with the real life Formula One. It's OneHub Fantasy, which contains all. Well, I'm going to explain it all in a minute, but it's a unique idea that OneHub has had. Gazza is going to be hosting that as well, so I would say best of luck to him for organising that as well. And I've just got an image here. I'll get an image here. I'm just trying to sort this out because I forgot to get the scene up on my OBS. But there we go. So basically, you will have 5 drivers, and you will be 5 drivers, and you got to pick 1 driver from each tier. If you're racing, unfortunately, I'm having to put a downer on this. You can't vote for you can't pick yourself. As much as I like to do myself. So anyway, it's free to play. Any member of the OneHubRacing Discord community can sign up. And a £10 PSN Amazon gift card is up for grabs, along with bragging rights for the player who finished in first place. You can join any time in the season as well. And after the tier announcements, to play the game, simply pick your 5 drivers. And each round, you'll score a single point for each position your driver moves forward from their qualifying to their race finishing position. So there's no point picking someone that starts on pole, because they're either going to gain no positions or they're going to drop down positions. So no point picking someone that's usually good at qualifying. Pick someone that's not usually good at qualifying. If I were you, pick someone near the bottom of that particular tier who scores consistently, that gains positions in the race. They could gain the most points for you. That is my top tip, I have to say, as well. And if your drivers fall backwards or stays in the same position, you won't score any points. And after each week, you'll be able to swap only 1 driver from your team for another driver. For example, if you swap a driver from the podium tier, it will need to be for another driver in the podium tier. This is unless one of your drivers leaves mid-season, in which case you'll be allowed to make the swap in that tier without counting towards your allocated 1 driver swap. And you must use the Fantasy Games Swap chat to do your swap. And there's a message where you can react to it in the Fantasy Games chat if you want to be involved. And the allocations of your 5 drivers will be open once the stream is done, basically. So those are the rules. And I still don't know who I'm going to pick yet, but yeah, it's going to be exciting, I have to say. Good luck to Gazza again, who's organising this and having to sort out all these drivers. But the one advantage is anyone of the OneHub community can take part in this. You don't have to be a driver. And don't forget, you can't pick yourself if you're racing. Just saying.
Yeah, very interesting idea that is, and of course you do have you have to put in a bit of strategy and thinking into it on whether you want to win or not, and yeah, it's a really cool idea you guys have created.
Yeah, we like to create new innovative ideas at OneHub as well. Let us know maybe in chat who you're potentially thinking of as well. And yeah, you're only allowed 1 swap a week. You can't just have 5 swaps. We're not having wild cards in here, unfortunately. But there we go. So we've done fantasy. We announced our commentators. We announced our tiers. There's, I think, a few more things we got to do. But there's one important thing that we've got to do is pretty much open the team contracts, which is very exciting. Now, please note, the points tier is not open yet, mainly because it's not on the website. So do not panic. You will be told in your points tier chat, if you're in the points tier, when to apply for contracts. But for all the other tiers, it will be open very soon. It's now open. So for Prospect, Podium, Precision, and Pinnacle tier, go and sign up for your team contracts. Now, all the information is on the website, and there's a tutorial video as well. And you can go and apply for teams that may not you may not reach the criteria, because not everyone may apply for it. No one may apply for it. So I think it was Storm last season went for Mercedes because no one went for it, and he got it. So, go and apply for it if you're in those 4 tiers. Points tier will sort out ASAP, because we weren't expecting another tier, so that's why. So yeah, we will let you know in the points tier chat, so don't worry. So any ideas of what you suggesting for any top tips, because you replied for many teams as well, Danestar in the past. Any top tips on how to do this, on how to apply for teams, on what teams to go for, maybe?
I'd say look at your records. If you have the credentials, of course, you have podiums, race wins, you can obviously go for a top team and they'll consider you. But if you don't have those, you don't have that in your portfolio, you can't really make it into a big team. You can look towards a midfield team, or if you're new, maybe look for one of the smaller teams, maybe, and they'll accept you. That's really all the advice I got to give, really.
Yeah, and if you know what teammate you're going to have this season and they got really high stats, let them apply for you, and then you can get the team that you want, because there's 10 drivers that will get the contracts, and then those 10 drivers that got contracts will then approach the other 10 drivers in that tier, and they will pick one of those drivers to be on their team. So that's how it works as well. So don't panic if you don't get a team right away. You will get a team. Do not worry. So, you know, that's the important thing as well. So I need to double check with Nick when it's open until. I think it's about a week or a few. Actually, no, it's less than a week, because it's going to be done before the pre-season race at Britain Short. So that's going to be exciting as well. So yeah, and I think that's it for the stream. Apart from, we got to plug one more thing, which is the next thing we're doing at OneHubRacing, joint with another league as well. On Thursday night at 7 p.m, we've got a charity event with Jacko Car, raising money for Cowrie Scholarship Foundation, and it's going to be basically a league face-off. We've got 10 drivers from each team, 10 from Jacko Car, 10 from OneHub. All 20 drivers have been sorted. They will be announced on the league's respective social medias soon. I don't know when, but probably closer to the event, maybe a day before the event. I don't know. 1 shot qualifying, 1 reverse grid, 2 mystery tracks, and the losing league going to face the forfeit, which I don't know what the forfeit's going to be, but Nick and Jacko are going to hope that their team does not lose. So for our sake, Nick, we hope that we've got a strong lineup representing us, because otherwise you will have to face a forfeit. So check it out at 7 p.m. UK time. Nick and Jacko will be your commentators, and I believe it's, if I'm not mistaken, it'll be on the Jacko Car YouTube channel. So make sure you give them a subscribe so you know when to not miss there as well. I think it's on the Jacko Car YouTube channel. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm excited for this one. Are you rooting for Team OneHub, Danestar? Come on, you got to root for Team OneHub. Let's go.
Of course, I'm rooting for Team OneHub. Just gotta watch next week. You go tune into that event, and you can see OneHub beat Jacko Car with ease.
Yeah, there we go. I think we've got this. It's 1-0 at the moment to Jacko Car, because we lost in a 24-hour event with our little bet that we had. So we want to make it even. So, you know, but we're not going to give away our drivers to anyone. So, and it's going to be very, very exciting, I have to say. So check it out on Thursday. And then on Friday, we got the pre-season race for OneHubRacing, which is going to be held at the same times as the usual tiers, and will be streamed on YouTube and Twitch as well. I believe no TAS on Friday, because we haven't got those sorted yet. But this gives you a chance for everyone to race against people in your tier, and it gives us spectators a chance as well to see the pecking order going into this season as well. And I'm looking forward to the calendar as well. 10 great races as well. Any races that struck to mind, it's going to be some close battles.
First race of the season, I think Canada, it may not look like it, but of course Canada always brings out a very, very good league race. I think right off the bat we're going to be starting with a very good race.
Yeah.
What about you? What are you thinking?
Very, very tough, but I think Brazil's going to be quite close. And due to the fact that the close lap times, maybe I would say Monza and Austria as well, and maybe France as well. France always produced some great OneHub races in the past. I've commentated on a few of them as well, so yeah, so we're gonna end the stream there, folks. So get applying for your contracts. If you're not applying yet, what are you doing? So get applying if you're not in the points tier, and we'll see in the next few days or so what team you'll be in. So yeah, I've been JessGames95, and we've got Danestar. Thank you very much for joining me, and we will see you on Friday for the pre-season race. It should be very, very exciting. Make sure you watch out to find out how your favourite driver is doing. And have a good evening, everybody. I need to find out someone to raid, actually. But anyway, have a good evening and goodbye.